Well, good morning, beautiful, and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. We are going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together in a full face makeup tutorial. So we're going to have some beauty on the outside and then some beauty on the inside. Now, my name is Wendy, and it has been a delightful week for me. I hope that your week has gone well. I have got to spend a whole week planning season 3 for us. And let me tell you, I am excited. Color Me James is out, so go ahead and get your copy so that you will be ready to go. In fact, let me just go ahead and get that up there for you. So this is the book that we're going to be using for season 3, and it is ready to go. On my website, I have a couple of choices for you. The ebook is soon to come. I don't think that'll be the most user-friendly, but if that's your shtick and you like technology, then knock yourself out with that. Okay, so what are we going to be doing today? So for today, our easy makeup theme is going to be, how do I make my eyes pop with a soft, natural makeup look? So here's what we're going to do. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe, grab your palette, grab your lashes, grab your brushes, and then get on back here and let's get going. There we go.
A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. Voices at me, can't wait.
All right. Sorry. I know I always grew out to that song. So our foundation verse for this podcast is Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And that is a verse that's like always with us. It's kind of what drives me for scripture memorization. So if it helps me, I thought maybe it might help you too. All right, so our verse for this week is going to be, let me see if I can get my mouse to cooperate with me. There we go. So our verse for this week is going to be a reminder for us. It is Romans 8:28. And we know that those who love God, all things come together for the good for those who are called according to his purpose. So that'll be the verse that we'll be working on all week long. So I am going to get that maybe scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that is the verse that we're going to be working with all week this week, Romans 8:28. That'll be going across your screen. And as we go along through our tutorial today, we'll be saying that together as kind of a reminder, refresher, and part of how we sort of make that part of our daily routine. You institute that and implement that wherever it speaks meaning to you. So all the products that we are going to be using today are going to be in the show notes of what we're on right now, but then they're also going to be on my website. So you can see today we're going to be using the Culture 2 palette again. We used it last week for a vibrant red look for Valentine's Day. And today we're going to throttle it back just a little bit. So, but it's beautiful. And the thing I love about today's look is that it really makes your eyes pop and focuses more on the lashes. So whether you're wearing false lashes or not wearing lashes, it's just really going to make your eyes pop. This is definitely more of a minimal look. So for those of you classical people, this is definitely going to be for you. So let me get that off of there. And now we are going to get going. So go ahead and grab your primer. For me, that is going to be the Urban Decay All-Nighter. This week we're going to be, let me turn it around the right way. This week we're going to be using the Urban Decay All-Nighter Primer. It is very cold here. Texas is like having some sort of mental problems. So we've got cold one day, hot one day. And with the cold, I like the Urban Decay All-Nighter because I feel like it's got it doesn't really have hydration, but on my combo skin, it makes it feel sort of like it does without like bogging it down and making it heavy. So we're just going to use one pump of that. Going to work it between our fingers. Any place that you have fine lines and wrinkles, maybe you experience separation in your foundation. For some of you, it might be that you've got a little dryness. This will help with that too. You know those little dry patches and then the powder and the foundation don't stick right? Yeah, them things. This will help with that. Gonna make sure we get that around our lips so that when we get to our lips part, that is going to help our everything to just stay and last better and last longer. So love that. Now today for the look that we're doing, I'm not going to do an eye primer because I don't think we really need that for today. So we're going to bypass that little thing and we're going to go straight to the concealer. This is the It Cosmetics by Under Eye. I am the shade 11 Light Nude, and we're just going to use a thin, well, if I can get it out. I told you it's cold. Even the concealer doesn't want to come out. Okay, so we're just going to use a ribbon of that. There you go. That's enough to do everything. So we're just going to put that big picture. Any place where you have a color that you don't want, a discoloration of some sort. So this is going to be redness. It could be like under my eye here. I've got some darkness. So we're just going to put that there, and we're just going to kind of blop it down for right now. That's the technical term. We're just going to blop it down for right now. And then we're going to let that set while we chit chat for just a second, because this is going to blend out much better once it warms up to our body temperature just a little bit. So we're going to leave that there for a sec, looking like a psycho person. Then we're going to grab our Juvia's Place JP 102 flat foundation brush, and we're going to use that to blend it out. And you're just going over it a little bit. We're not trying to like brush it in or brush it off. We're just giving it a little bit of a blend. Thing I love about this brush, you can get right in that corner of that eye and get a nice smooth blend out. I'm going to blend that onto the top of my cheek there and help with that redness. Under the eye with the darkness. Oh, I totally forgot to turn the chat on. I'm so sorry. I hear you all dinging. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So whatever platform you're on, ask your question while we're live, and I'll do my best to get that asked and answered for you. If not, I'll get you on social media later. But go ahead and ask your question. That should come through to me. All right. So now we've got like a bunch of whiteness happening. So it's going to help our foundation to do its job a little more precisely. I am using the Juvia's Place I Am Magic. This is the Velvety Matte Foundation. I am the shade 710 Maricao. This is, I know it's at Ulta. I don't know if it's at Sephora or not. So if you want to try this one, so this one I really, really like. It's not so great around the glasses right here, but if you don't wear glasses, give this one a try. This is a full coverage foundation. Excellent for like weddings and events that you need to go to. I just don't think it plays nicely with the glasses sitting on your face, but you know, really what foundation does. Okay, so back to what we're doing here. So we're just going to uncap that bad boy. We're just going to give ourselves a little bit of a squeeze. Doesn't take a whole lot of this. So we're just going to tap it. Kind of disperse it around the face so it's sort of evenly distributed. This does not dry fast, so you've got plenty of time to get that blended out. So we're just going to work that up into that hairline here on the forehead, around the brows, around the nose, into the hair over here, and then down under that chin a little bit. So that just blends out. We don't want a line. And then up into that concealer that we put down. Good morning. So I see we got quite a few people on here this morning. So go ahead and give me a shout out. Let me know where you're coming from. Whoop, whoop. Stephanie from the UK. Now, y'all were very quiet this week. I expect you to step up your game this week. I'm just teasing. Okay. Because this has that nice edge, you can really get in and around the nose. Also, like I said, I love how it works in around the eye. So now we have a nice even color and we look sort of ghost-like, but don't worry, we're going to add the color back in where we want it to be. So I'm going to grab, first we need to set that. So I'm going to grab the Professional. This is the, what is that called? It's their powder, the Blur and Whir something powder. Anyways, it's the Professional. Things I like about this one. This one has nice big holes in the reservoir, so you can actually get a decent amount of powder out. This is very blurring. Even if you have light skin like I do, there is like a little bit of a tint to it. So if you're like super, super pale, this may not work so well for you. But I think you could even go a little lighter than me and then on from that. But it does have just a tiny, it's not tinted. It just has like a natural tint to it. Okay, so we're going to grab, this is the Juvia's Place, the tapered powder brush, the JP 101. And we're going to grab that. We're going to set it in. It's going to get on there. And then we're going to tap it off. So we're going to start out around the eye. I also like the way this smells. And we're just going to blend that over that foundation and set that. Tapping it again. And you can see a little of this goes a long way. And we're going to do the forehead. So we're putting it in, we're tapping it out. And around those brows. And I wish you could smell this. It has this really good smell. I don't know. I don't recall smelling it throughout the day, but it does have a good smell when you first put it on. And that is talc free as well. So yay for that. Okay, so now we have, and can you see how that just like blurred out? That's like such a smooth looking surface now with that setting powder. Really, really like that one. It's actually I used it when it very first launched about, I don't know, maybe a year ago. And I don't know why I didn't go back to it. That's really just a very pretty finish on that. Okay, so focus, Wendy, focus, Wendy. So now we're going to go to our contouring. We're going to grab our dual-ended brush. We're going to use this one for the bronzer, this one for the highlighter, or highlighter 1. And we're going to grab our KVD palette. And for today, like I said, we're doing more of a, sorry, I'm struggling to get open, a little more of a classic look. So again, we're going to kind of be over here on this end here. So we're going to take the flat side of that. Going to get it on one side, and then I'm going to use that side up. We're going to go from the ear in a curved motion, heading to about the corner of the eye. We're going to stay above the hollow of the cheek, and then up the side of the temple. Here we go. Same thing on the other side. And we're still going to use that flat side. We're going to go right up against that hairline there. Give us a little color up here. I like to kind of work it in a little bit so you don't end up with like a ridge ending of that. Now we're going to use the thin side of the brush. We're going to go under the jawline here from the ear to about the corner of the mouth. Keep a neutral face so you can actually get up under that jawline. And we're just going to accentuate that shadow. So for those of you that have a great shadow, you may not need this, but for those of us that don't, we do. So you can see how that kind of chisels out and brings that chin up a little bit. Now we're still going to use that flat side. We're going to come right along the side of that nose on this side, and then on this side, we're going to leave that center cleared. And that's going to narrow our nose just a little bit. I'm just going to come right under that tip there. I'm just going to dip in this one right on the outside. Let's just get a little more. There we go. Now we're going to use the fluffy side. We're going to go into the highlighter here on the top of the cheek, right beside the eye. and then down the nose. And you, I think, are about ready to hear my dog bark because I hear the trash man outside. Okay. All right, so now we're going to grab our Juvia's Place. This is the volume 4. We're going to grab this here. And actually, I think for today, we're going to use this top one. Ever so slightly, but I like the shade of that. So I'm just using a MAC, I don't know, 113, I think. This is just a traditional blush brush. We're just going to tap, tap. We're going to go between that bronzer and that highlighter. And just give a little hint of pink there. Be careful tapping back in when you do the tip of the nose, because these are so pigmented, you don't want to end up looking like a Rudolph, right? We just want a little bit of pink. Oh, now I'm going to be singing that Christmas song all day. Okay, well, it is what it is. Okay, so now we have got our contouring done. We've got a little bit of shading going on. And so we're going to move on to our lips. But before we do that, we're going to say that verse together. So that is scrolling across the bottom of your screen, and it should be right about to you now. And we know for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. Okay, so we're going to be playing with MAC lips today. So I have got the MAC. This is the chestnut lip pencil. And then we're playing with the, what is this? This is the satin lipstick in the Bad and Bare. And this is just a nice kind of a neutral brown. Let me hold it still so the camera can get it. There you go. Just a nice neutral color. And then our eyes are going to be muted. And the focus, again, will be our lashes. So we are going to come up here. We're going to start in that Cupid's bow. And we're working just to the outside of that lip, just a little bit. Catch a little extra real estate. And don't worry about how brown this is. We're going to tone it down here in just a second. Now we're going to go to the center and the bottom. And then we're going to bring it to the outside corner. Okay, take a step back. Make sure you like the shape. Okay, now you know how usually when we're doing an ombre lip, we come in with a little bit lighter pressure. This time, because we're trying to mute it down just a little bit, we're going to take our middle finger and we're going to drag the edge of that to bring that color down just a little. So you're going to smudge it just like that. Bringing that color into the center of the lip just a little bit. Nice. Okay, so now that we've got that nice line going on, we got a great shape. We've added a little extra real estate on our lips by overlining just a tiny, tiny bit. Now we're going to take that Bad and Bare and we're going to fill in those lips, going over the whole line that we just did. I'm going to use that tip to catch the bottom. There we go. So you can see we've just got a very neutral lip going on. The focus is going to be more on, it's going to bring that focus up more on the lashes and the eye area with the neutral colors that we're going to be using. So I said that we were going to be using the Culture 2 palette. So we're going to be in this, but very different from last week. So this week we're going to be in the Palm Kennel, and then we're also going to be in the Band 2. Now, those are the only colors. Well, okay, I say that. We might use a little tiny bit of Jollof. We'll see how that goes. So anyways, we're going to mostly be in these two colors here. And then we're going to, just like last week, yet different, we're going to do a mock cut crease, and we're going to be using the Culture 2. If this one isn't a duochrome, I believe it's just called a shimmer liquid shadow. And this one's Yanga. So it's just kind of a shimmery pink color. And that'll go on the top of all that we'll be doing there. So we're going to start out with the Morphe M441. And we're going to go into that Culture 2 palette. And right on the tip of that, we're just going to grab some of that Palm Kennel. And that's going to go right up here on that brow bone. We're just going to give a neutral color for that, so we have something to blend into as we put our shadows on. So just a little bit. Now, if your skin tone is darker, you might try the Soweto right here. That may work for you too. Just something kind of inconspicuous is what we're looking for. Okay, now we are going to grab, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to do a Morphe 124. I know this one is a flat one, but because this shadow's a little bit of a shimmer, we're going to use that to blend that out. And we're going to go into the Band 2. And that is this one right here. So you're just going to one side of that brush. And we're just going to lay it down from one corner to the other corner. And we're going to go from the bottom all the way to the top. You can see how this one just has a nice, a little bit of pink color to it, a little bit of a neutral, but it's got a little shimmer. And we're going to go all the way up to that eye socket bone. All the way up here. Make sure you get all the way down to that lash line. And we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So we're going from the lash line, corner to corner, and then all the way up to that eye socket bone. Okay, and then we're just going to go over that upper area into that Palm Kennel, and you're just going to blend that out a little bit. Now, I do think I want to add a little something on that outside corner. So I'm going to grab a Morphe M321, and let's go ahead and try the Jollof right here, and just ever so slightly an amount of the Jollof right there on that outside corner. So just on the tip, and we're just going to go right here on that outside corner. Yeah, I think I like that. There we go. And then again, Jollof right here on that outside corner. It'll just give you a little bit of intensity on the outside. There you go. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're going to do under the, I told you it's going to be easy today. So we're going to go under that lash line just a little bit. So I'm going to grab the Real Techniques. This is a 75, 87, 75, 87, 75, 87. Wait, hold on. What is the name of that one? It is Real Techniques 87. Okay. So we're going to grab that smudger. And we're going to start out in that Jollof, which we just did, just right on the very tip of that. We're going to start out on the outside corner. And just give a little bit on the outside corner. And then you can work it up around the edge into that corner. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just gonna kind of dust that off a little bit on my tissue I got on my lap. I'm gonna grab that Bantu. I'm just gonna do that same thing right on the tip of that Bantu. We're gonna go from right where we set that Jola. And then we're gonna go to the inside corner. There we go. So now that we've got our shadow all done, let me just go ahead and take that. We're just going to dust that away just a tiny bit. And let's grab our liquid shadow. So again, this is the Yanga, which is part of the, I believe, the Culture 2 shadow collection, liquid shadow collection that they did. So you've got a little bit of iridescent, but it's not actually a duochrome. So we're going to do that right here on the inside. And we're going to bring that up to the socket bone. Just on that inside third. Well, actually, let's do the half. I'm going to go halfway across here. Just give you a nice clean line. So the line's going about 3/4. But then it's really going to go about halfway right here. I'm going to do that same thing on the other side. And you're just going to kind of lightly go over the edge there, so it's not like a harsh stop. Can you see that shimmer? Look at that. I know, it's nice. Okay, so it's a little bit sort of wet feeling. Let me fan that down just a sec. I keep meaning to get one of those little handheld fans that I haven't done it yet. Okay, so we're gonna take that right here on the tip. I'm gonna add just a little tiny bit right on the inside corner. There we go. Just a little bit. Okay, so today we're going to be playing with a brown liner. So, you know, usually I use the black, love that, but today's look required a brown. So I am using, this is the Juvia's Place, the Nubian eyeliner in the color Cocoa. So we're going to take that cocoa liner. We're going to do a little bit of smudging and blending out with this. So right here on the outside corner, we're going to come in about halfway. Just a little bit past where we put that shadow, the liquid shadow. There we go. Same thing on the other side. And then we're going to come underneath the eye. And we're just going to give a fine line. We'll come back in with that smudger in just a second. There you go. We're just pulling a little bit of the vision out to the outside corners to really give you the illusion of a bigger eye. Wow, look at how much the blue in my eye just went, hello. Okay, and I like a little bit of this just on the outside corner of that water line. Not all the way across, just about a third. There you go. Yeah. So, now the smudger that you had, we're just going to use that on the bottom to blend that out just a little bit. We don't actually want like a line. And then we'll use that on the top and we'll do that same thing there. You're just going to go over the eyeliner line and let that smudge out just a little bit. Nice. So no harsh lines. But We are going to use a liquid liner just so we get a little forgiveness with our lashes. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Grande Lash so it can be warming up. So you'll notice that the tip of this is red right now. We're going to press this and hold it down till it lights up. And then we're going to press it one more time so it turns darker green. When that tip turns white, we know that's ready. So we're going to go ahead and let that be doing its thing while we're getting our eyeliner and our brows done. So I've got the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid liner. We're just going to go from the outside corner to the inside corner with a thin line. This is just going to be, it's kind of like a frame on your eye. And it's also going to give you a nice runway for your lashes and a little bit of forgiveness if you happen to not get your lashes 100% in the right place. Just a little insurance policy. And yes, great question. I am using the black of this. Yeah, it's just a very thin line, so I didn't think there was any need in doing the brown for this one. Okay, so on to our brows while we're letting our lash curler heat up. So whatever your brow product of choice is, I am using the Bad Gal Bang from Benefit in Wild Plum because it matches my hair color right now. So we're just going to take care of our brows. If you're ever going to use a mascara for your brow product, let me tell you a couple things. Don't touch your skin. Once you touch your skin, it's going to make a funny little thing and then you got to wipe it off. So you're just touching your brow hairs. Yes, I have used other colors before. I have used blue when I had blue hair. I have used pink mascara when I had pink hair. Never had black hair before, so I never had an occasion to do that. Okay, and now the other side. One of my favorite brow colors, when my hair was bleached out, I used the, oh gosh, what was the name of that? Soft gray, I think. Benefits gray pencil. Man, I love that color. I almost want to bleach my hair out again just so I can use that eye pencil. Okay, and because this is a mascara, there is no need to do any kind of a setting gel or anything like that because this does it all at one time for you. All right, so let us see how. Now you can see our tip is clear, and so now the lash curler is ready to go. So with this lash curler, you are going to do one eye at a time, and we're going to use our verse as our timer. So you can see the tip is now clear. Our light is the dark green. So we're going to curl the inside, curl the outside, curl the middle, put the mascara on. So we're going to use that verse as a timer here. So let me wait for it to roll around. Okay, there we go. And so we're just going to set it on right there at the root of that lash. And we know that those who love God, all things work together for good. For those who are called according to his purpose, Romans 8:28. Now the outside corner. And we know for those who love God, all things work together for good. For those who those who are called according to his purpose, Romans 8:28. And now in the center. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good. Oops. There we go. For those who are called according to his purpose, Romans 8:28. There you go. Now that one is all good to go. We can go ahead and curl that. I don't know why. I like to just kind of brush it a couple times. I think it feels very soothing, that warmth on the eye like that. Okay. Enough of that, Winnie. So let's go ahead and get some mascara on there. I'm using the Bad Gal Bang. This is in the black. And because we're going to be wearing lashes, we don't really need like a whole lot of mascara. We're really just doing this so that our lashes blend in with the black lashes. So just giving it a little bit, coming back on those tips. Also, it'll help give you a little extra volume. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and do that same thing on the other side. So we are going to, that really does curl well. See that? Okay, so again, grabbing that lash curler, we're going to go to the inside, and that's going to just set down right at the root of that lash. And we know for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. Then we're coming to the outside. Here we go. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his those who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. I might be trying to do too many things at one time. I poke myself. Okay, there we go. Now we're in the center. There we go. Here we go. And we know for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. And then we're just going to comb that through a couple of times, making sure we're paying attention to that root there. There we go. And now we just press that and turn that off. Okay, get some mascara on that side. Brushing back on those tips. Y'all are being kind of quiet today. Okay, great question. So on the bottom lashes, we're going to do regular mascara because you're not going to put false lashes on there. So we want that to balance out nicely. So I'm grabbing my magnifying mirror and we're just going to mascara on those bottom lashes just like normal. This will help balance out what we're going to have happening up there on the top. I am sweeping up under the tip on those. And you're going to want to make sure you get all the way to that outside corner. We're going from root to tip. Okay, so now we're going to do that. You got to love it when you do that. Oh, is it just me? Is it just me? Okay. So now we're going to do that same thing to the lashes on the other side. And again, you're sweeping up underneath those tips. There we go. I hope it wasn't turned too much. I sort of lost track of myself there for a second. Okay, so the lashes that we're going to be using today, we're going to go with the Juvia's Place, one of my favorites. This is the Zaria. The Zaria is a flared lash, so it's narrow on the inside and then wider on the outside. Makes it super easy to tell which lash goes on what side. I'm going to be using my velour lash tools. So I'm going to grab that lash from the outside edge and get it off the tray there. If your lashes are new, you're going to do just a dry fit. Just set the lash on there and you're going to trim from the outside corner if the lash is too long. Most everybody is going to need to trim something off the lashes. Once you do it a couple of times, every lash brand is a little bit different, but once you do it a couple of times, you'll be able to get a feel for about how much you need to trim off of that particular lash brand. Most of the time, the brands stay about the same length, but there is a difference from brand to brand in length. I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place Nubian Lash Glue, and this is a clear adhesive. So we're going to start out, we're just going to grab that lash right there in the center. This has I'm not sure if this is actually a brush on that. I think it's just like a rubber tip. We're going to go right on the top of that band. And then we're going to put it on the back side of that band. Just a nice, clear strip of that adhesive. Making sure that you pay special attention to the outside corners, because those are where you're going to most likely get your lift, if you're going to get any lift there. And we definitely want to minimize that. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put that on that top of that band. And then we're going to get it on the back of that band. And you can have a smaller lash if you like. I also like the Gains from, I believe it's Ardell. That one's nice, very natural looking, a little bit less. Very durable though, because that was made for girls who work out. So that one's very nice. Now with this adhesive, I found it a little bit better if I just put a thin line of that on my liner. I just found that it increased its staying ability. Anyways, so just put a thin line right on the top of that eyeliner. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. Just getting a little bit on there. I guess it's kind of like with super glue, you know, you get the better adhesion when you put some on the piece, on the other piece, and then you put them together. So I guess it's kind of along that philosophy. So I'm going to grab the lash that I did first. We're going to grab it right there in the center. And if you see any stray hairs, get that off now. So the smaller part of this lash is on the inside, so I know that goes to this side here. So we're just going to set that down right there in the middle. Touch that right to your lid where your lash is meeting your skin. There we go. Let's just go ahead and walk that around. Then we're going to use the tip of this and we're going to kind of work our lashes into that. I feel like we're a little separated right here. There we go. Much better, much better. Then we're going to grab the lash for the other side. Grab that right in the center. Do that same thing. Being careful not to get your tool stuck in there. There we go. Okay. Then we're going to use the tip of that and we're going to work our lashes into those false lashes. Okay. I'm just going to kind of press those in. Nice. So you can see with the lighter shadow, a little bit lighter touch, a little bit lighter colors, the focus is really on the lash. Completely different look than the look that we had last week. So before we can call ourselves finished, I am going to grab my the Heroin Glow 2 from Juvia's Place. It's just a nice kind of a rose gold color. And you know what? I don't think I grabbed that brush, so we're going to makeshifty this with, actually let's take this one. So we're just going to use this one, and because I don't want like a whole lot of this on here, I'm just going to use the tips of that right there on there. We're going to go just on the top of that cheek and then up beside the temple. And then we're going to come down the center. me get just a little bit more here. Blend that out. Man, that's so pretty. Just a nice little rose gold shimmer. All right. So now that we've got everything where we want it, we like everything the way that it is, we want it to stay like that all day. So I'm going to grab my Juvia's Place. This is the Ready, Set, Sealed. We're just going to give that a little bit of a shake. Let's set that. Man, that smells so good too. Okay. Give that a little fan down if you need to. All right. Guess what? You have now completed a full face of makeup. So we should have said the verse before the setting spray. So let's say that one more time. And we know for those who love God, all things work together for good. For those who are called according to his purpose. Oh, for those who love God, for those who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. All right. So let's take a look at our Bible verses that we've been working on together. Let me get over here. There we go. So last week we worked on Ephesians 6:10 and 11. Finally, be strong in the Lord, in the strength of his might. Put on the full armor of God that you might be able to stand against, I want to say, the schemes of the devil. There we go. Is that right? Standing against the schemes of the devil. Yay! Okay, and that's Ephesians 6:10 and 11. And our verse that we're going to be working on this week is a reminder to ourselves, Romans 8:28. We know that those who love God, all things work together for good, those who are called according to his purpose. And so it has been well, let me get over here. So let me show you what we got coming up. So this is Color Me James. This is going to be season 3, which is going to start on March 6th. We are going to work through this book together. Ooh, is it going to let me turn the pages? Okay, well, I guess today it's not going to let me do a page flip, but, oh, maybe it will. No, just kidding. Okay, so in this book, there are all kinds of coloring pages, tutorials. It is a journal for you to work through as we work through the book of James. And our ultimate goal is to memorize the book of James. Yes, ma'am. We are talking from top to bottom. We are going to do it together. It is a 48-week study, and it's available right now in 2 different versions. The third one's coming out. So the first way is the spiral bound. That is my most favorite way. And most people have bought that particular version because it opens up and lays flat. Then the second way is the perfect binding, and that's available on Amazon. So you'll see that on my website as well, or you can go to Amazon and search Color Me James. So you got those 2 ways, and then hopefully in the next 24 hours we'll have the ebook version available as well. And so the ebook you'll be able to take into Procreate and color the coloring pages, or you can take it into, I think it's called Goodreads, and be able to actually answer the questions in the journal and write into that ebook. So just depends on what your preferred method of Bible study and participation is. And so let me get over to here. Let's go here. There we go. So just a reminder that you can go to the website and pick up your copy of that. That'll direct you to whatever version of that is that you want. But again, that will be starting on March 6th. And next week, I'll have another fun thing for you because I was thinking about it. And I know accountability is a huge thing when you're trying to do something that seems like an insurmountable task. Maybe it's just me. I've always wanted to memorize a book and I've never done anything about it. So this is the do something about it. And so I know for me, I love games. I love prizes. I like being recognized. So next week, something special is coming for you to get us ready for some extra level of fun and accountability for the book of James. So be ready for that. You'll see little hints about it on social media all week this week. So let me go ahead and give us a blessing and then we'll say a prayer. So the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. And that comes from Numbers 24 and 25. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for each one of these women that has come and hung out here with me today, whether they're watching it live or they are catching this later on in a recording. Father, I just pray a blessing on them this week as we work on our Bible verse together, Father, that you would help us to truly memorize these verses and to hide them in our heart so that they will be ready and available for us, and that we can also share them with others as the moment and the need arises. Father, I just pray that you would be with us as we get ready to embark upon the book of James, and that you would help all the preparation to come together to help us just function together and celebrate each other and do this thing together. And I pray all these great things in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. All right. So let me see what let me get that going off. There we go. So just a little reminder to like and subscribe on whatever platform that you are on. I look forward to seeing you throughout the week and next Thursday. So y'all have a wonderful day. God bless, and I love you.